Today I want to try out a new eyeshadow palette. It's a quad by Youngblood and it's called Garden Party. But before we get started, I'm just going to go in with the McoBeauty. This is the Hydra oil-free foundation. The shade I'm using is Natural Tan. Now I like this because it is quite a buildable coverage and it's also taking off a little bit of that shine that I have on my face. So I'm just buffing that in with one of Fernando's foundation brushes. This comes in a 10-piece set. I do have a link in my bio for these. And on them they're quite good because they actually explain exactly what each brush does. Now this is the Mecca Max. This I'm using as a contour. I wanted to keep it a little bit cooler today and I felt that this shade was a little bit cooler. I'm using the same foundation brush and really just pressing that in, just creating a bit of frame for my face and a little bit of shape, but nothing too warm because this eyeshadow palette is actually quite cool in its shades. So here we go. We're going in with the first one. Now this is called Bloom. So it is like a real mauve shade, really matte, and I'm placing it right into that crease and quite high up the top, as you can see, and buffing it out to the outer edge. This will create lift in my eyelids because my eyelids are starting to sort of droop a little bit, slight bit of hooding there. So if I keep it right up on that brow bone and just work it in, then it will help to lift them up and open them up. And as you can see, I am going back and forth a couple of times just to build up the color. So I didn't want to go in too hard and fast. This is the first time I've used this palette. And I'm using a really nice blending brush by McoBeauty. Now, the second shade that I'm using is also matte, and this is called Plum Passion. And I'm using a smaller brush, another one from McoBeauty. This is the 209. The brush I used before was the 206, in case you need to know. So placing that in the outer corner and up on that crease, going back in with the 206 brush, the blending brush, and just blending that shade into that crease and really concentrating on that outer corner and again a little bit near that brow bone to create that lift. Swiping a small amount of this on the bottom lash line and then going in with the same shade that I used in the beginning just to really connect that lash line. That helps to open up the eyes. Now, unlike usual, I usually use my chocolate brown eyeliner. Today, I'm using a grey one. This is called Slate, and it is by Youngblood Mineral Cosmetics. I actually don't think they do this one anymore. So anyway, any sort of charcoal eyeliner will work well. And I'm creating a really soft baby wing. It's just how I love to do my eyes. And I'm also putting it on that tight line and just getting a little bit in that inner corner. Now, I was going to do mascara as you saw there, but I skipped. I'm going to add some shimmer. Just couldn't help myself but use. This is called Radiant Rose, and I'm just placing that on the ball of my eye to add that little bit of pop. And I'm just using my finger and then going in with that larger brush and just sort of buffing out the edges. Now I'll go in with my mineral mascara. So this is the Youngblood mascara. I do love this mascara, helps separate lashes, and it is just nice and easy to use. Combing those brows, I'm just running through. This is the McoBeauty. This is called the Brow Fill and Set. I'm just using the set end of this one today to keep it quite simple. Now I'm using a small amount of concealer, one to lighten up the makeup as well. This is by MAC. This is the Studio Fix, and if I could read the shade, I would let you know what it was called. So I'll find out for you. NC35, I think. And I'm using the same foundation brush and just pushing that into the skin and really blending that in. Now I'm using the concealer brush from the Tennille Jai set. And this is quite large, but it's nice and fluffy and it helps to really disperse that concealer and create a really nice even appeal under those eyes. Now, for my cheeks and my lips, I'm going with the St. Renais Lip and Cheek Tint. This is in Genoa. I never thought I was a real pink girl until I found this shade, but it's quite nice. It's really soft, not too pink, but enough to give you that flush of color. So I'm just placing that on my cheeks with a fluffy brush. Now, the last thing that I'm going to do is go in with the medium rice setting powder and set this makeup. I really do hope that you like the soft garden party look